Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 30 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I didn't really do much. I was working with some block pallets for the trophy room, but nothing worth showing right now. I also found out that the custom doors do not really work with connected textures. So I built these doors as an attempt to, bridge the gap between the fission reactors, and yeah, they look like garbage. So these two doors are connected, but this one is not, so I was hoping that all three of them, as I approach, would vortex away, and that does not seem to be the case. So these two linked into double doors, and this one did not. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have tried something. May as well try it now, since we're on camera. I'm going to modify these doors. Door to modify right here, and I'm going to turn off double door and see whether or not that works. Nope, okay. So it only worries about the door that's directly in front of it. Ah, that stinks. It's fine, though. I am still looking for a use for Melissa's doors. In any case, what we're going to be doing this episode is we're going to create a security terminal from Applied Energistics because it has been a long time coming. I should absolutely be able to access my ME system from anywhere in the world. So yeah, that is what we're going to do. The first thing that we're going to need to create is the ME security terminal. And what am I missing? Quite a few things. So the ME chest can make that no problem, and a 16K ME storage component. Oh, that's also super simple. If I go over to my Ender IO area, right over here. So I have more than enough 4K storage components. Let's turn this on and grab these. Alright, so I have to be quick whenever I activate this because anything that is created will immediately move over to the 64K terminal. And even then, I could just have grabbed them from right here. It's no problem. Yeah, I have 16K ME storage components. Let's make all of this stuff. Okay, so security terminal made. I'm going to attach it right here. And awesome, security terminal, just fine. I also need a biometric card, which is super simple to make, so I can key the security terminal specifically to me. Biometric card, shift to right click, it is now tuned to me. And now, let's throw it in there. Biometric card editor is right there. Next we have the wireless access point, super simple stuff, and I'm going to drop that right here. And it is activated, you can tell by the purple light, so I now have wireless capability. And I don't think I need the wireless boosters, even though it is a quest. So I'm going to make 2 wireless boosters, just so I can say that they have the quest done, and immediately go and make the wireless terminal. The wireless terminal has been made, and I have to key that to myself, so bam. It is now linked to my biometric card, and I can... Oh, device is low on power. I should probably charge it. While this is charging up, I just want to say, for posterity's sake, this episode is probably going to be very short. I am very much under the weather. I feel like I've lost a lot of my emotional inflection in my voice. And yeah, based on how my head and stomach are feeling, it's probably food poisoning, just like a one-day thing. But yeah, this episode is probably going to be very short because can barely see through this headache. I'm going to wait for this wireless terminal to finish charging though, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is upgrading those terminals immediately and putting some Infinity booster cards inside them. So the next things we are going to make are the wireless interface terminal, which really has no use for me right now, and the wireless crafting terminal, which definitely has a use for me right now. So these terminals right here, I just keyed them. I still have to charge them. Actually, I don't even have to charge them at all. I'm going to... Yeah, I'll charge them up, go over what they do, because I have never used the wireless ultimate terminal before. I don't know how it works, and I don't know whether or not the functionality is going to be different. I'm not going to bother showing the interface terminal. For some odd reason, my brain was associating the interface terminal with a pattern terminal. So this just shows off what's connected to your network. It's useless to me right now. I have no auto crafting set up. I have nothing. So I'm going to make the wireless ultimate terminal. And the wireless ultimate terminal luckily is already keyed to me. I can open it up just fine. And I can switch it to the interface terminal. And there are some upgrades right here, one of which I have yet to create. The other one I have more than enough of, and that is the Infinity Booster card. So Infinity, I have 13 of them. I only need one. Depending on how your pack is configured, there is a config option to change it so I only need one Infinity Booster card, and that is this pack's default. Otherwise, I would have to put in multiple Infinity Booster cards, and it would use them periodically to support the fact that, let me get away from here real quick, so I can still access my wireless terminal from this location with the Infinity Booster card. If I use the regular wireless terminal, it says wireless out of range. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can access this from any dimension so long as this area is chunk loaded. And wouldn't you know it, this area is chunk loaded. Another thing I absolutely love about this mod is the fact that it is a bauble, and I can put it anywhere I want. I generally have it in the head area, and you can see that it added an antenna to me. So I have an antenna on top of my head. I think I'm going to change that. I am a lefty, so I'm going to keep it on my left arm, and you see that it has now shown up on my left arm. So that is where my wireless crafting terminal is going to be from now on. I just realized I never went over what the booster cards were for. So you see that the range is 16 meters by default on my wireless access point, and that is using 16 RF a tick. If I throw in a booster card, that is going to increase that range to 18.8 meters, and it's going to take 20 RF a tick. So when I tried accessing the wireless terminal before, when I was all the way across the room, I could not do that because wireless is out of range. If I install more booster cards in here, that will increase the range that I can go from this wireless access point and actually access my ME system. Since I do have the Infinity Booster cards, I'm not really worried about that, and all I have to do is just access my Ultimate Crafting terminal from anywhere, and yeah, it's just really no point to it. But the last thing that we have to create to finish off this quest line is the magnet card. So the magnet card, oh wow, I don't have nearly any of the materials I need. The magnet card didn't work properly for me in Project Ozone 3. So, ME Annihilation Plane. I can't believe I haven't made an Annihilation Plane since I've been in this pack. Regardless, here is a Annihilation Plane. Let's make the magnet card. And here we go. If I install it in here, what it should do, magnet card is activated, is every time I throw something into the world, so my Insanium Hatchet, I'll throw it into the world right now. Yeah, see, it's not working for me properly. What it should have done is when it magnetized back into myself, it should have gone into the wireless terminal automatically. Yeah, magnet card installed and active. But it's fine, that quest is now complete, and I don't actually think I put it in my inventory. Alright, there we go, now quest is complete. And we're back here at Kelebrew. So just a refresher, what problems I was experiencing last time were the distiller was not made for automation. It doesn't recognize what specific things can go in specific slots, and this second output slot cannot be extracted from in any way, shape, or form. And I have tried everything in this pack at least. I tried XNet, Thermal, Ender.io, vanilla hoppers. Yeah, this slot cannot be extracted from in any way, shape, or form. Another problem I'm having is, so you see I have prepared beach rum mix in this output slot. Well, this output slot is also recognized by the distiller as an input slot. And even though only glass bottles can go in this slot, anything can go in this slot. It's not recognized as only like rum mix going in there. So after everything has been made, and I'm out of prepared beach rum mix, I'm going to immediately have bottles going in here messing everything up. Over here at the controller, I changed things up. So I have an extra channel, channel 7, and channel 7 is only allowing 64 prepared beach rum mix to go into the distiller. One of the problems I was having last time I was here was I had both the bottles and the beach rum mix here, and allowing 128 of each to reach the distiller. So now only 128 bottles can reach there, and only 64 beach rum mix. And it is working. That conflict is now gone. It will only allow 124 bottles. But like I said, if this is an empty slot, one of those 128 will fill this slot like you saw when I started the clip. I cannot figure out how to automate this because this is going to reach 64 and then it'll stay. I cannot extract from it in any way, shape, or form. I have to manually take it out and then throw it into a chest. And that's not automation. So once again, I am stuck on Calibrew. I wanted to try something different by having chests as a buffer, and that would definitely work as far as the glass bottles were concerned because it would allow me to only designate, like I have here, only this top row will fill up with oak wood, and this bottom row will only fill up with sugarcane. And that is displayed over here at the controller once more by only inserting 576 sugarcane and 576 oak wood. And that's no problem whatsoever. But even if I do set up the chests over here, it's not going to stop the fact that I cannot export from this second slot. One of the things I may end up doing in the future, and this was a suggestion in my comments last episode, or I guess 2 episodes ago, I could install modular machinery into this pack and turn modular machinery into a distiller, and that would solve that problem. But that would be... I'm on the fence about that solution because it's going against what the pack maker had in mind for this quest in the first place. And I cannot find a link to the Discord for the Journey Across the Void Discord, so I can't ask the question myself anyway. I take that back. I was already a member of their Discord, and I just had never asked the question before. So I'm waiting on a response to figure out how it was intended by the pack makers to finish this quest. And yeah, once again, I'm going to have to put a pin in Calibrew, which is a shame because this is, or was going to be, a very impressive looking floor. This slot right here was actually going to be immersive engineering tanks, and some of the... Well, I guess that doesn't really make sense because this isn't a fluid, it's an item. Well, I made this without thinking. It was going to be immersive engineering tanks, because I like how they look, and they kind of look like the tanks that you would find in a distillery. So, yeah, who knows? I'm going to have to put a pin in Calibrew once again. So I guess what we're going to have to do is set up for the next thing that I want to do in this pack, which is Galacticraft. So I am going to need to set up, let's see here, I should have a stonework factory. Yes, I do. I'm also going to need an auto hammer. Of course I don't. We'll make that a little later. We're also going to need an auto sieve. What we're going to do is we're going to automate the creation of crushed gravel, or I forget exactly what they call it, mercury gravel. And mercury gravel is made by just hammering any piece of stone. It will become mercury gravel, and then mercury gravel has, let's see, the drops are the same regardless of mesh I use, so this is going to be super simple. And I'm going to automate the creation of all of these so I can get into all of this. And hammers, booyah. So we're going to go into the ore processing area once again. So what I have done is I have left a little bit of blank space right here, and that's not going to be enough for all of the mercury gravel related things, but I also have another spot up here that I can link into this system. And wow, I have 2 full drives already? Holy shnikey, I may need to upgrade and put 2 more drive systems, and maybe, yeah, I think we're going to need to get the cell workbench and divvy out what ME storage cell is going to be handling what items, because that's ridiculous. Anyway, so all of my mercury gravel related stuff are going to be sitting right here and right here. So I gotta go get that set up real quick. It's not going to take all that long. As far as the sieve goes, I already have some expansion slots right here that I can throw that. And you know what? As far as the mercury gravel stuff goes, I don't know whether or not I'm going to need a lot of these items. You're going to have to bear with me for a second here because in my brain, advanced rocketry and Galacticraft overlap quite a bit. So it's easy for me to forget what things are actually important to the mods. But the Neptune zinc ore, actually, do I have any sort of anything making zinc right now? I do not. So yeah, I have no zinc ore whatsoever inside my systems. Carbon is definitely, Desh is definitely, magnesium. Oh man, I am making so much magnesium. And there's another weird thing about this pack. I keep neglecting to bring it up. However, this redstone furnace right here is what accepts all of the magnesium into it. However, I get two different types of magnesium. I get this magnesium ingot and this magnesium ingot. And depending on, I don't even know what it depends on. Sometimes when I start up the pack, it makes the pink version, and sometimes it starts making the gray version. It doesn't do that with any of the other ingots, only magnesium. It's kind of weird, and that's why I have 2 quantum storage units for magnesium. Just a quick update to tell you that I found a little bug here. So I was making trying to make some string meshes, and of course there is a recipe conflict inside the pack, but there's usually an arrow here on standard crafting grids that'll let you cycle through to make the one that you want. On the wireless crafting terminal, that does not exist, and now I'm going to have to go over here and make my meshes that way, because it does show up here. So that's going to be my flint, and that's going to be my iron. So that is unfortunate and a very weird bug, but we just worked through it, and if I find any recipe conflicts in the future, I'll know how to get around them, or at least I won't be confused. So we are just about done with this setup, or at least the sieving setup. All I have to do is set these ender chests on top of here and then route a ender IO cable into the ender chest. This 5th ender chest is going to go over here, and I've decided that based on how many things I get from mercury gravel, I'm just going to use the top floor. But anyway, down here again, yeah, the setup is pretty much the same as it is over here, only instead of using a quantum storage unit, I am using the auto hammer. And I did look at the recipes for the stonework factory. I cannot take this stone, put this in hammer mode, and get the mercury gravel that way. It's not one of the recipes associated with the stonework factory. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I'm going to have the regular stone go into this hammer. The hammer is going to turn it into mercury gravel. It's going to get sieved up in here, and everything is going to flow into this ender chest, which is the same color as every other ender chest going into the block making setup. And yeah, that is just about it. It's about that simple. And there we have it. All of the sieve setups for mercury gravel have been completed. I do not have them going into the ender chest yet, because I of course need to make sure that everything is set up to receive it. Over here, I unfortunately cannot do that in that episode because I am just out of time. So I have some plastic being made. Where was that plastic? I also, yep, those are done. So I had some plastic being made because I am going to have to create more black hole units. I want to keep with the theme of having black hole units, and eventually I will replace all of these quantum storage units with black hole units. That's going to be something I'll do in between episodes though. I'll get the whole thing set up and leave it running for probably the entire time that I'm at work, just to make sure that I have more than enough materials to get into Galacticraft in the next episode. So I am Kelly Engineering. I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.